adventure mode, stealth. Right, timing starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is D.I.R.T, and I'm sorry for the fuck up. Oh, great, this is a great start. So the fuck up was that apparently for someone at Samsung, it was a great idea to develop an alarm where each time you specify an alarm, it's gonna basically it specifies the day on which the alarm is gonna fire. So I forgot about it and basically edited my own alarm, and my own alarm is scheduled to, for some reason, to start tomorrow. So great shit. Anyway, this is D.I.R.T. It's a game about from new generation games, and there's gonna be a lot of shooting, and yes, that sounds from Counter-Strike as well. What else? There is basically it's a game which has well, it has 3 distinct classes. All of these classes are supposed to have unique abilities, but obviously it's a game that goes way over its head and fails quite badly because of that. Come on, game, don't do that. So that was second level. So basically, all of these abilities are kind of broken in order to, or in the different ways. So there is an ability called, goddammit, where is it? There, magic bullet, or actually it's magic bullet. So if you do actually I can just show you. So this is the magic bullet. It's supposed to look like this, but come on. But if you do use it in midair, you cannot use it in midair. If you were to actually use it in midair, it's gonna fire only if you land. But if you jump, use that ability, and then switch to spin accelerator, it ends up with you having unlimited ammo, which is actually very helpful because the ammo at the beginning is very limited. So one of the reasons why I said as a class that I have the stealth is because you can actually clip with it. So I use the TK throw, which is a telekinesis. Come on, I get in here, use the ability which basically allows me to stick to the wall and basically clip with it. Because you're not supposed to be able to move once you are stuck to the wall. Also, that game likes to crash, so. But yeah, a reason why I actually shoot all of the time is you can get stun locked. Well, when you are getting hit. Oh. Also, you can do.
Is it working?
Yeah, you can do. Well, you can extend your jump basically by using abilities like this. Actually, let's get rid of these enemies. Well, that was good enough. So the reason I actually abuse the magic bullets, so I get unlimited ammo, but I constantly get am shooting, is that I don't get stun locked when an enemy hits me. So I just run through all of the levels without actually getting stun locked. And stun locking can be very dangerous. Alright, this level is pretty cool because you're supposed to shoot like 4 different targets, but instead you can just jump in here and do a side jump, and you're climbing through the wall, through the gate. There, sorted. This game is D.I.R.T, the origin of species, also known as Eva Cash Project D.I.R.T, also known as, I think, Project D.I.R.T. It's a game which actually came out a year before Colin McRae D.I.R.T, which is the first D.I.R.T game. So no. Also, you may notice that the game is not performing very well. It will probably become a bit more noticeable later on. Probably in this level, because this is where the frame rate absolutely hits the bed. Let's do magic bullet again, so we actually don't get stun locked. That's one enemy, 2, 4. As for the story of this game, is, I don't know. D.I.R.T, which is the main protagonist, wakes up in a prison, and suddenly the city, well, when she gets out, she turns out she's in New York, or is she? And New York is basically swarmed by giant ants, which actually have a name. Well, that's not really ants, right? But the enemies, aside from the enemies, the human enemies are called giant ants. Or actually, let me correct that. The enemies are called giants, because it's G-I ants, right? G-I ants, as in whatever. It's not me who came up with this, it's the developers. Also, look how nice these shadows are. And I have to wait for this idiot to actually bring me, well, fix the keypad in here. What are abilities? Well, this one basically allows you to levitate, and you can pretty much abuse it to all hell. And there is the spin accelerator, which you can chain with that. Alright, let's go. At the beginning I chose actually a language other than English and Russian. The reason I chose an English or a language different than English and Russian is basically because well, in the release of a game, which is for the Europe and I think well, the general Europe, I guess, and I think US as well, The only languages present are actually, well, Russian, that's one, and the English one. And it actually matters because also you're gonna heal AWP in here, like properly. It matters because normally there are pre-rendered cutscenes which basically tell a story of this game. Yeah, as you can see, it uses sounds from Counter-Strike for some reason. What was I talking about? Great shit. Yeah, right, the pre-rendered cutscenes. The pre-rendered cutscenes basically, you can skip them, but you can skip them like 2 seconds in or something. But if the sound is missing, then you can skip then basically they start instantly, and all of the cutscenes from French, German, Italian, basically all of the languages which are having a missing sounds, but for some reason are in the main menu, are missing. So they skip instantly, which is very convenient. So this is pretty much the first proper boss fight now. There are some bosses in this game, and the first boss in this game is what is it? The Harrier? You can see it in the corner, right? So I'm just abusing spin accelerator to get over these holes. Please, this game is very fun. And now I'm just gonna use magic bullet, and let's go. And this is the first boss. And yes, that's how planes, well, Harrier works, right? One, two. Interesting, right? It's not a mobile game. It's a game from 2006, man. And suddenly, oh look, a terrible skybox. No, it's actually not a terrible skybox. It turns out the whole New York was fake. It was only a model. So you're actually somewhere in, well, whatever the Area 51 is. So we're gonna jump over an invisible wall. Again, abuse the spin accelerator to get over here. Use this button and hopefully end up on the roof after a cutscene. No, okay. So basically what I'm trying to do in here is like, I'm trying to jump while the camera is showing the door, because you actually have control. So this is the second boss. This second boss kills runs. We'll see how it goes. So let's go there. Some music. The game actually doesn't store your settings for the sound, which is why I actually wrote myself a little handy wrapper which writes the volume of a sound each time the game starts. It's a very good game. It's surprising that it even works. So this boss can take somewhere between like 15 seconds to a minute and 15 seconds, depending on how much it takes damage. So yeah, we're going back. There is the scientist involved in the project, which we again have to which we again have to escort. There's one of the giants. Oh, nice. It's a stealth kill. Hopefully this works right. This works fine, because sometimes there is this sniper in here which can actually shoot the scientist through the... Actually, let's go like this. Yeah, this guy can actually shoot. Yeah, that's a part of music. This sniper can actually shoot the scientist through the geometry from there to here, right? What is the giant? There should be a... I don't like this. Also, let's get rid of this guy. Oh yeah, and if you look closely, there is a teddy bear on the back of D.I.R.T. And the music is in this game is actually kind of weird. Assuming it's not stolen from somewhere. Because we don't know who's him. Right, I hope the giant's actually not gonna appear in here. Because I have to go to a proper area 51. There we go, and you may notice some issues with frame rate. It's not serious at all for now. If we're gonna be lucky or not, actually, we're gonna notice a frame rate dipping down to like 10. It's random, as far as I know. So yeah, I'm just gonna again abuse the magic bullet, or magic bullet. And go, well, basically to avoid taking damage. Also, the backpack or the teddy on the back has a name, and it's Mr. Boo. Area 51 is interesting in a way that it is the only hub in the game. In a way that you actually revisit. Oh, god damn it. Revisit it. And you can do stuff in any order. So basically, I have to destroy 2 generators. So that was 1 generator in one of the hangars, and now we're going back. The red lasers are basically well, snipers, obviously, right? Headshot, speed kill. This game is actually, well, for now, it's running surprisingly well. Yeah, I guess it's worth to mention that the diagonal movement is faster than the straight one. So, yeah. This is gonna be another boss in this hangar. This boss also can waste you time, depending on how much of an asshole he decides to be. Yeah, so now he's an asshole because he turns away from me. Come on. And he doesn't want to even take any damage. Sweet. There we go. Now we're gonna go in here, shoot this generator and go back. Surprised that the game hasn't crashed yet. Also, there is a sniper which likes to hang around in midair. Goodbye. Because I guess the developers forgot about level geometry in there. So now we're gonna go to a proper facility. And yes, I can steer in that little cutscene. Here we're supposed to, I think, activate to generate something. Also, the frame rate is going nuts. What we're gonna do instead? Well, first we're gonna go in here. Oh, there we go. You can probably hear some here. Nice. Obviously, you hear the frame rate. You can see some of the frame rate. So we're gonna go in here, push these boxes around a bit. Use the TK throw, get in here. Use the wall hugging and basically use the TK throw to push us through the wall, and that's it. This is the worst level of the game. It took me, I think, 3 hours to beat it when I was playing it casually. There is no recording of anyone doing it, beating this level legit. But thankfully, you're revisiting this area later on, well, after, in 2 levels basically. And it turns out this level has 2 exits. One which is only supposed to be accessible in the other version of this level. Let's wait for the spin accelerator. But since you can chain abilities to jump over lasers, which you're supposed to be able to disable in the later version of this level, you can actually get in here, and it turns out this wall doesn't have collision. I mean, obviously, right? So now we're just gonna kill this giant, whatever it is, spider, I guess. Do it, please. This game is very real. This game is very real. It actually had a publisher, and I think the current publisher, or at least the publisher holding rights now, I think it's Deep Silver. But originally it was, I don't even know what. So yeah, that's the second level. That's the second version of that level now. You actually can disable these lasers. But that would be slow. Or it would be slower. So I'm just gonna jump over him. And obviously, since this is the proper version and you can actually, this room is actually accessible, surely this wall has a collision now, right? Yeah. Excuse me, this is dirt. Here goes another boss. This boss is actually an environment boss, so you have to destroy these things to actually hurt him. Otherwise it's invincible. And if you're lucky, he can actually kill you, because his attacks are really powerful. And that's the boss. And I will continue shooting because, yeah, there's the level exit. The most boring level of this game, which is some abandoned town nobody cares about. where you're actually supposed to fix a Toyota Supra so you can actually get to other area in the game. This sniper is annoying. There. And you have to pick up basically parts for your drag car. Or not your drag car. But yeah, you're supposed to fix it. Let's actually go through here. So yeah, this is stun locking basically, right? You take damage and you cannot move. Also, let's wait for the grenade. Did I pick it up? Yes, I did. Okay. It's a very interesting level, right? Another thing that we have to pick up is in here. And there's another thing that we have to pick up, which is near this mine. There's supposed to be a cutscene with like a very generic, ugly-looking guy, which is kind of a love interest for D.I.R.T or something. I don't even know. But yeah, we're playing this game, I think, in French now, as you can probably see by all the English subtitles. So there is no cutscene. Because there is no cutscene in French. Because there is no file.
Please don't hurt me.
And there we go. So this is Scrapyard. Scrapyard is pretty... Oh yeah, I fucked it up. Oh, this may be a problem, because you're supposed to cover this guy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And the best part, well, the level exit is actually active. It just, if these guys die somewhere along the way, then it deactivates. Also, for some reason, these are like alien angels or something. Anyway, this is the boss. This boss is actually hinted multiple times in the game, so obviously you know that the fight with him is gonna be very epic. So we're just gonna go here, and 2 shots and he's dead. And this is the last level of the game. Oh, there we go. That's the frame rate I'm talking about. Also, this boss can take random damage from itself, basically. Let's kill actually these guys, because these guys do like, well, can take half of your health in one shot. There we go. That's the frame rate I was expecting from this game. Alright, so get ready on time. And time. There's supposed to be an outro, but there isn't. Because because whatever. Is there a dead... Oh god. Well, I guess we won't be able to find it on time. Because I wanted to show you dicks on New Generation Games, okay. Is the New Generation Games that level files? Because there is one level missing from this game. And I think it's Angel which was actually used in trailers. Yes, there we go. So this is a level where you're playing a demon for some reason, which is having a huge dick and not having any, yeah, not having any balls. Or at least assume it's a dick, but I don't know because the camera work is freaking terrible. So yeah, that was D.I.R.T. Go figure.